guys, this is me, Malorian, and this will be kind of a combo video. The first part of this will be a Q&A, where on the Mr. Malorian Facebook page, I said, hey, I'm going to be doing a video. If you have any questions, post them up and I'll answer them. After that, I want to talk about where Warmachine is kind of globally right now, and then I want to bring it in and talk about where Warmachine is with me. So, starting this off from on the Mr. Malorian Facebook page, we have the first one here from Christopheles Murfesto saying, I'd like to know your feelings on Gatorman needing more to play at competitive level. This is interesting because from your comment here and the way you even phrase this already demonstrates one of the main issues I feel that Minions players have. And that's really the fact that they are still divided. When Mark III came here, people talked about Winions. You had Winions. Well, okay, I guess Winions is more with the frogs and all that stuff. But the thing is that all of a sudden you got your Gatorman and you got your Pharaoh, and now they're friends. Whereas before you had to be a Gatorman player or a Pharaoh player. Now you can mix them together, so you got so many more options. It's great, it's awesome. A lot of the weaknesses you used to have where you can't crack armor, that's been fixed for you. You know, Rask is still amazing, but you still have people that are refusing to mix them. And I get it that these are very different aesthetics, right? It's almost like in Mercenaries where people refuse to go with Cephalix because, ugh, they look weird. It's almost the same thing like that with Minions. And so you'll have them saying like, what should I do? What should I try? And if you ever say something like, oh, well, you should try Carver because whatever, they'll say, oh, well, so sorry, no, I'm a Gatorman player. Oh, okay. Or same thing, talking to the others, like, oh, you're getting shot a lot? Have you tried Rask? Oh, no, I'm a pig player. Come on, guys, you gotta work together. So, of course, you could say all the things. It would be really nice to have another regular beast with reach that's kind of more faster than a little octopus and a little bit stronger. And it'd be nice to have a few other power casters, come on, Rask 2 or something like that. But in the end, I think the biggest problem is that you still have these people just not using all the tools that they could possibly use. Next one here is from Tom Bell, and he says, how many Cyclones is too many? And okay, I'm a lover of jank, so really my answer is as long as you have a reasonable plan for them, that's how many is appropriate. Now, sure, there could be some interesting things you can do with Cyclones where they're doing like some throwing tech, or you're putting down the covering fire to really shut down infantry, or Resturgis, you're pulling them in. I don't know what the real plan is there, but to me, I would never go higher than like 2 because I have 1 currently, which usually doesn't make it into lists. I've thought about times about running a list with 2, and sometimes during like lots of Sambuca 3, but I really feel like if you get to 2 Cyclones, you're good. Don't buy any more, especially because you never know in the future. They say, you know what, let's go to FA2. That's probably just the safest way to do it. Next one here is going to come from Dorian, and he says, if gobbers have nipples, do they have nipple clamps? Yeah, sure, why not? Don't judge. They're allowed to have their own fun. Stephen Kemp, when will you be featuring Relic Blade content? I don't intend to. I checked out Relic Blade. Stephen Kemp is a local guy who posted up a video to me showing, you know, this Kickstarter and all this stuff. I am not interested in it. I don't like the look of the models, and at the same time, I'm kind of stretched where I am for hobby stuff anyways, which we'll get to in a little bit here. But yeah, don't expect any Relic Blade content from me. Neil Rose says, what are your hopes for the Trencher CID? What should be in, and what specifically needs looking at? Well, I am sure there is going to be all the Trencher stuff we have. There's actually a lot of Trencher things when you think about it. We got 2 units, 4 if you're talking about the 2 artillery as well. There's a good amount of other Trencher solos, right, with the Trencher Buster and the Master Artillerist and the Finn and Gibbs you can put in there. And so there's a lot of models that are possible. It'd be interesting if they added in something new, like if they had like a fast cav trencher unit which came in and could do like 5 clouds and then they fast cav away. That'd be really cool. I'm sure the CID theme will have something like, oh, for every 20 points of models you have, you get a free solo, or something like that, which is sure. I think it'd be really cool if on the first turn, your trenchers could run in cloud. That'd be pretty cool as well, for if you want to really get up there. But I'm sure this new structure we're having coming out will be part of the theme as well. So yeah, I just hope it's something interesting. Either way, I know that as long as there's trenchers and a theme, Haley 3 is going to love it. So I just can't wait to play that. Sean Wild, when will you be returning to 40K? And the answer to that is, I don't think I will be. We're going to get to this. 40K is exploding right now. GW models always look amazing. But whenever I get back and I look at the cost, and sure they have their little things there. It's like, oh, look how you've got the starter set. You can buy it for cheap, and there you go. And it's like, okay, I know the song and dance. If I go through and I look at what I would like to buy just to make like one regular list, it gets fairly expensive. You know, if I was to go back, it'd probably be Orcs and Goblins and, well, okay, Space Orcs or whatever they call it now. And they have some amazingly good looking things, and it gets pretty pricey pretty quick when you start looking at all the little pieces you gotta put together. And that's even just to give you one list with no options. And of course you want options, right? And so yeah, I just don't have the wallet to make this work, so no matter how much I want to play, unless someone's like lending me models, I have no intention to go back to 40K. Mike Swaby asks, will you ever play Scorn? I'm sure if I like lose a bet or want to try something silly, I'll play Scorn, but I have no intentions of going to them. There actually was a time where I was specifically looking at Scorn, and I was like, oh, look at all this cool infantry. I wonder what sort of like infantry swarm spam I could actually go with. And I was like, well, why am I even bothering? I can do the same thing with Signar or with Mercenaries. I'm not getting anything new. So their aesthetic is interesting. I don't like all of it. And at this point here, I have now, since then, prided myself on my hate of Scorn. That would be hard for me to ever realistically think about playing them. And yeah, so that's all the Q&A. So thanks to all of you who posted there on the Facebook page. And now when I get to the question of where is Warmachine globally? And I think the first part we're going to go with that is say, it's in a bad spot. Now, if you've been listening to a lot of podcasts and forums and stuff like that, there's a lot of people pretty negative about Warmachine right now. And probably for good reason. Also probably going a little bit too far. And here's the reason why. When it went from Mark III to Mark II, people had high hopes that they were going to fix all these themes. They had crazy bonuses and all these free points. And now you have all these crazy themes with all these crazy rules and free points. So it's like they didn't learn their lesson. There still seems to be a lot of these crazy things coming out that's like, come on, why didn't you play test this? And at the same time, they now have this CID thing that's in there that's supposed to be fixing this, and that's just causing more problems than good. Because if you're a regular person who's not really taking care or paying attention to the CID, and you show up to your gaming night, and someone's like, hey, look at this new battle engine I got, and you're like, what the hell? Here I am trying to be like a semi-legit player. I did my research, I got ready, I'm ready to counter these things, and you're going to pull these trial model rules against me, which change from week to week, and God knows what thing's going to be official when. So that really causes a lot of confusion. So all those things together makes people frustrated, and at the same time, we have 40K coming in saying, oh, come to me, come to me. The Church of 40K is always ready. And they got a new rule book coming out that's completely redone. The rule set looks good. It's simplified, it's now trying to be clean like Warmachine, and of course with all those beautiful models, how can you blame them? It's a lot like when we went from Mark II to Mark III, whereas right now we're waiting to go from Steamroller 2016 to Steamroller 2017, we're waiting for Grimkin, we're waiting for these battle engines to be official, we're waiting for the other CID stuff to be official, and it seems like in this period of waiting, people are saying, well, screw this, I'm going to go do some 40K. And so this can be a really tough time to be playing. It's not even just 40K. Locally, there's a lot of people going to Malifaux, trying some other stuff, and that's really bad. Now, even though it's bad right now, I don't feel it's going to last. I feel once we get to July, and we get, we're past Lock and Load, and Grimkin are out, Streamroller 2017 is official, all these CID rules that we've been kind of like tossing around, they're now out and official. There's going to be more theme forces out there. This is going to help a lot, because all that waiting will be done. Having more theme forces will just make it so there's more variety out there, and I think it's going to be really good for the game, and people will come back. Will everybody come back? No. It doesn't matter when it is. People are always leaving the hobby. People are always coming into the hobby. So there'll be new people coming in. But it's just the way it is. So if you're at a point right now where people are off and they're playing other games, they're like, screw Warmachine, I want to play 40K, well, let them. And if you want to, enjoy it even yourself, with the knowledge that you should be ready to come back. And the knowledge that it is always good to take a breather from a game, right? If you play a game, go, you're going to get worn out and burnt out. It doesn't matter what it is. If it's a video game, a board game, any of that stuff, if you do something to the extreme long enough, you're just going to get burnt out. And so taking this break now, when we're in a transition period anyway, it's actually a really good idea. So whether you're going to try Guild Ball or Malifaux or 40K, sure, go and do that. Maybe get like a starter army or whatever, and give it a try if that's what your group is doing. But keep that eye on Warmachine, because know that it's coming back. And we've seen this multiple times in the past. People are going to go, people are going to come back. So where is Warmachine for me? Where is Warmachine with Malorian? I still love Warmachine. Warmachine is great. There's tough things I don't want to face, like Ghost Fleet. Ghost Fleet, I don't want to face that whatsoever. But I know that if it gets too extreme, like say one player winning an entire convention with it to banking, then probably PP is going to come and correct it. So I have all the faith in the world that anything that is wrong with Warmachine will be corrected. It's a real priority that Privateer Press is doing, and they've been doing a pretty good job of it. Sometimes while they fix one thing, they break another, but then they come and they fix that thing too later on. So I'm still loving Warmachine, and that's all great. I am having an issue with Warmachine, unfortunately, in another area. Now, when I was coming into Warmachine, I was coming from Warmachine Fantasy, from GW Fantasy, and I loved Fantasy for how wacky it was and great and epic scale, but I loved the look of Warmachine because it was clean, it was highly competitive, and there was this ultimate glowing goal of the World Team Championships. And my goal coming into this, my #1 priority, was to try to get onto Team Canada. Now, of course, in the beginning, I got my ass kicked over and over and over and over. That's the way it works in Warmachine. There's a lot of memorization and a lot of butt kickings you got to take, but I had gotten to the point where I was starting to win tournaments at GrotchCon. I was playing against people who were on Team Canada, and I was either beating them or having very close games with them, and it's like, wow, I might be ready for Team Canada. This glowing star, this goal that I've been looking towards, I am now at a potential spot to be going after that. And then something great and horrendous happened. Team Canada had a number of players who had to drop for one reason or another. Doesn't matter the reason why, there were people who had dropped. Now originally, I had not applied because it was a bad year for my job. My contract was not renewed yet. My wife is going back to school, just had a new baby. I'm a fiscally responsible person, so I did not apply. Now, my contract has been renewed. I'm a little bit safer. Now that people who are at that level are out, this is my best chance to get in. With all the people who might be not interested in Warmachine and me being at the top of my game, now is the time that I should be applying and going for Team Canada because this is my time. And then I analyzed it and I said, you know what? I can't do it because the cost to try and do something like this is roughly $3,000. You know, give or take, blah, blah, blah. It is significantly expensive. And unfortunately, at the spot where I am right now, even though my job is now solid for another year, hooray, I'm still not in a spot where I can just pull out $3,000 when my wife is going back to school and we got a new baby and blah, 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 blah. So that was heartbreaking, knowing that now I'm at a perfect time to be going for this and that I can't because of my wallet. And it's not like, you know, I'm a poor guy. I'm just more fiscally responsible. And that's maybe the problem, is that as I'm an aging parent gamer, whenever I look at something, it's like, well, I could buy that Hurricane, or I could buy a whole new, like, you know, couple of games for my kids, or I can take my kids to the water park, or we can go on a vacation, right? Things like that, where it's like, oh, every single time, like, should I just pick up this model because it's cool and I like it, or should I get my kids ice cream? And it's one of those things now where that's coming to my mind, and that's at a low level. And so when we're talking about like $3,000 to go, that's at the big level. And unfortunately, when I thought about it, I was like, well, what if I did some sort of like Kickstarter with my subscribers? You guys are all awesome. Maybe I could do something where, hey, I will provide to you battle reports, exclusive battle reports from all my games there. I'll do interviews with the teams, blah, blah, blah. And this content I will then basically sell to my subscribers, to whoever wants to be part of the, whether it's a Patreon thing, Kickstarter, or whatever. And I'll use that to subsidize it. But you know what? I don't want to tax my viewers anymore, you know. Doing this as it is would be a big enough risk, and at the same time, I know that, you know, everybody likes their money, right? Everybody wants to use that money to do something for themselves, and for me to ask my viewers, please pay for me so I can go to the World Team Championships, isn't fair to you. So I didn't want to go that route. So, given that, if I'm saying now the World Team Championship is no longer a possibility, at least for the short term, and I mean, by short term, we're talking like a few more years, because my wife will be going back to school this year, then she'll need to go to school another year, and then she'll be hopefully working again, but hey, there could be another year of trying to wait and find a job. So, even though I'm at my prime right now, if I cannot physically go after my goal for 2 to 3 years from now, that is very disheartening. And so really what's done for me is saying like, well, where I've been trying to go to all these tournaments and do all these things and trying to be at my best so I can go for this goal, now that I know that a goal is not attainable, that's been really drawing the wind from my sails, at least to be competitive. Again, I said I love Warmachine, and so that's where it's like now it's like, well, I could go and I could like go to tournaments and try and smash people with, you know, Kane 1 and Sloan and Thexus and Osram, but why? You know, why not just pull out someone random? Like here, I'm just going to randomly grab a caster. Who's back there? Okay, we got Nemo 2. Let's make a list from Nemo 2, right? Why don't I just have fun and do something like that? And so it's just trying to now switch my brain in that mode, knowing that I can't do anything that I want competitively, and I might as well look more at the fun part of it. It's just, it's disappointing and unfortunate, but at the same time, I should have more fun, so that's good. So that's where I am. Another thing I should say as well, too, is that the biggest tournament I run is called Blood and Gears. It's, you know, hashtag awesome as fuck and all these things, and it's been really great and going up. I am terrified to run Blood and Gears this year. Last year, I ran Blood and Gears, and because the venue screwed me over and I had to quickly change venues and blah, blah, I had a 4-digit loss, and that was horrendous. Now we're having a year where Warmachine is currently going through a slump. I am making it a goal to be financially wise. And it's like, can I really do Blood and Gears? But at the same time, if I don't go and try and do these big events to draw in a lot more support and interest, I'm just helping put another nail in Warmachine's coffin, right? I need to be doing something big to make everybody say, like, yeah, Warmachine, let's go, let's have some fun. But at the same time, I don't want to shoot myself in the foot. So that's where I am. I'm really loving Warmachine. I'm not happy that my competitive aspirations are dead, but hey, you know, I'm hoping I can have some fun and that I can find some way I can support this community to get us through this slump, and then playing after, you know, 40K has come, then it's flash in the pan, and then we're back again and being strong. So there we go, guys. I want to thank you for watching this, for those who gave the questions, and maybe this was a bit of a ramble, but I really want to get out there, right, where I'm seeing the global game right now, how it's affecting me and where I'm at. And of course, there's people who've been asking me before, like, so what's going on with this Team Canada thing, Malorian? I know this was a big goal, and now we're not hearing about it anymore. What's going on? And so I thought it was just fair if I came here and said, look, this is where we're at. It's not a goal anymore. So, unfortunate, but that's the way it is. So there it is, people. Thanks for watching. If you have any comments, please post it down below. I'll comment back to as many as I can, and we'll catch you later. Bye.